For example, do you support what happened at the snooker?
Of course I support what happened at the snooker.
Why? Why are you laughing?
Am I laughing?
Yeah, you are. You're smirking. And so was the guy who did the stunt at the snooker. And here's my problem. It's all a bit of a game for you guys. You regularly get seen smirking and laughing. It's all a bit of fun. It's not fun for the people whose lives you're ruining.
Piers, when the last IPCC report was released, and that's basically the sound of the world's climate scientists banging their heads against the desks, basically, in despair that no one's listening to them, that made page 11 of the Daily Mail underneath two women arguing over their geraniums, right? As a result of what happened on Monday, our demand has been on the front of every...
No, your demand wasn't on the front page. That idiot was on the front page, spraying a snooker table with orange paint.
Millions of conversations have been elicited, and if even a tenth of them draw attention to the fact that the British government are ploughing ahead with over 100 new fossil fuel licences, opening new coal mines in the middle of the worst crisis that we've ever seen, then it's a win. Don't you think?
So you think... No, I don't. I don't think it's a win at all. I think it's a massive lose, actually. I think what you're doing is alienating a public who might well be persuaded, because they show it in the polls, to come on your side.
I'm glad you agree.
But at the moment, they think you're a bunch of annoying twerps wrecking their lives. Let me bring in you here. Donegal, I don't understand why you can't... Because you're not an unintelligent person. I've followed your stuff for a few years. Why you can't understand that this is backfiring? Why you don't get that the British public are sick of it?
I think what's really interesting, Piers, is that you've just spent 5 minutes talking about tactics when you actually said you are seriously concerned about this issue.
Yeah.
And we would really welcome conversations on Talk TV about the issues. You said, the British government is doing good. Well, actually, a report came out last week from RAN about global investment in new fossil fuels. Since Copenhagen, $6 trillion invested in new fossil fuels. 15% came from the UK.
OK, let me answer.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I think it's a talk about an issue.
I'm going to give you a follow-up question to that, which is this.
But
tell me the
point. I need to finish the point on investment.
Tell me the carbon emissions for the UK and then for China and Russia and India.
Britain is investing 15% of the global investment in fossil fuels globally, which, according to the International Energy Agency, according to the European Investment Bank, and even HSBC are saying we do not need. Investing $7 trillion over the next 10 years is a suicide note for humanity.
OK, so
we're not talking about that.
So you say. But I'll ask you again.
So do the world scientists say.
OK, yes, but there is actually a very debatable response from the scientists about exactly the best way to tackle this. Because I would listen to a woman, for example, on Nick Ferrari's show on LBC the other day, saying that within 8 years, if we stopped awarding any licences now, we'd have 8 more years of gas and oil. And then she said we could actually sustain this country for all the power we need from wind and waves.
That's what we're saying. We're agreeing.
It's completely unworkable. There is nobody with a brain who has managed to work out a way that could possibly be done in 8 years.
Do you actually...
So you guys are living... Do you believe... You guys are living in cloud cuckoo land.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You are.
Piers, are you saying the European Investment Bank, HSBC, the International Energy Agency, knows more than you? Because what I am saying is quoting them.
I'm not saying they know more than me. No, I'm telling you...
Well, they are actually saying that we can't invest in new fossil fuels because we've got enough fossil fuels to last for 50 years.
In my estimation, the sensible way to do this is to move slowly off fossil fuels to renewable energy, to make it affordable and make it practical, so that we don't have half the country turned into wind farms. That's the sensible way to do this, right? And I'm up for that sensible debate. That's not why you two were booked on this show. You two were booked on this show because the methods that you're using, in my opinion, are now damaging your cause. They are actually deterring the public from supporting you. And again, I ask you, why do it? Why rick the snooker? Why go and chuck stuff at Van Gogh? Why go and do these stupid things?
Why is the government investing massive amounts in new fossil fuels when the IEA says we can't afford it? Why is the government saying one thing and doing the opposite?
You're playing whataboutery. My question
is... No, I'm not. I'm absolutely core to this issue. You're talking about a piece of powder, and I'm talking about billions being invested in destroying our
I'm talking about you being on a destructive mission to piss off the public.
Do you know who's on
and in my long time in the media, I can tell you, it's not going to work.
The very fact that we're having this conversation is a testament to the efficacy of these tactics.
It's not.
Right?
I heard you guys say this.
The fact is,
you've not been brought on
because
of your sophisticated scientific opinion about climate change. You've been brought on because your idiot friends have been once again wrecking things for people.
The fact of the matter is that we're seeing that the only real leverage that normal people have is through disruptive tactics, right? The nurses know it, the train drivers know it, the junior doctors know it.
So why don't you go where the real polluters are? Why don't you go to Beijing?
Because we need to get our own house in order before we go around the world telling people what to do.
You are moral cowards.